Those were San Francisco and Chicago. Today, what we will do is we will be doing the others as well. So first, I'm starting my React server. So it's been compiled successfully, and you can see the output here. Okay. So now what we will do is we said we will be using names of 10 different cities, right? So what we will do is we'll go back to our uh, GitHub, and then from our README file, we'll copy the array of the cities, and then we will just paste it here. Okay. So what we do here is, okay. So let's go back to our React page and see. Okay. So as you can see, once we updated the cities array, it automatically displays all the things that are included. So here, London is 2:33, Bangalore is 8:30, 8:03 p.m. So on and so forth. Okay. So now I also told you that we would be using CSS. So what we could do is go back to page 1.jsx, and we here in div we can have a class name. Okay, so we will see. Okay, normally all our css would be stored in app.css. Okay, so here, see, dot app. So basically any tag with class name dot app or app would have its elements centered aligned. Will be centered. Okay, the alignment would be to the center of the page. So what we will go, it will go to app.js, and here we will have this div. We will assign a class name to this div called app. Okay, then as you can see, it automatically updated our web page and everything is visible in the center. Okay, so this is how we make use of css, text centering, changing of the color. So let's say here we will see the existing css styling. Okay, so here we did the dot app, and then we have something called app header. So what we could do is we could go back to app.js, and here h1, for h1 tag we can assign the class name app header. So we will copy this class name here, and then we will go back here and say class name is equal to app header. And now you can see that the world clock is displayed, but it's too huge, right? It is covering up the whole thing. So we will go to app.css, and then instead of minimum height 100 view height, we will set it to 10 and see. See, now it displays perfectly. So we have used our CSS, HTML, JavaScript. Okay, so we've used all the things. Now this would end our assignment 1. Okay, so for assignment 2, what we will be doing is we would be doing a calendar. We will dynamically display a calendar. Okay, so what we will do is close this project. We do not need this anymore. We will open a new project. Okay, so for that we need to go to the menu, file, close folder. Okay, so then file, open folder, and then go back here, new folder, assignment 2. Okay, so select. So in the calendar application, what we will be doing in the first is we will display the calendar for the month February. Okay, so we will hard code it first and see what happens. Okay, so first what we will do is we will create our React app. So we will be like, we will open our GitHub README file. So here we have it. I'll paste it in the chat as well for your reference. Okay. So this is just a basic React application that displays calendar with the ability to navigate between previous and next months. Okay. So here we will go here, verify if npm is installed. It is installed. We can verify it again, npm -v. It's 11.5.2. And then now, since we already have it, we can skip the step 2 and then npx create React app. And then we will say assignment to, okay? Assignment to app. Okay. So until this installs, we will dive into the theory. Okay. So what will we be doing in this particular assignment? We will understand dynamic UI using state. Okay, as I told you, we will be using hooks. So use state is a type of hook. Okay, basically state. Okay, we can imagine our screen like a whiteboard. Okay, so when you have filled up your whiteboard with all the information, you you automatically try to update some new information. The state remembers this information. Okay, so it is like a magic slate and a magic memory. Okay, so basically whenever you try to change it, you need to erase it up and then rewrite the new information. Okay, and the screen will get updated. So say for example, um also you could say a novel. Okay, so in a novel, you see for page 1 there is some different content, and if you go to page 2, the content would be different. It cannot be for page 1, page 2, page 3 everything would be the same content. Then it doesn't make it a novel, it just makes a Xerox copy of the page. Correct? So something like that. Okay, so it can also be used as a counter. Okay, a counter is the best example I can give you. So whenever you press a button, your counter, okay, we will start from the beginning. Once an application loads, your counter will be set to 0. Okay, so imagine there is a button saying press me. So if you click on that, the counter will increase to 1. If you click on that, the counter will increase to 2. All this will be stored in state. Okay, so next one is managing month and year. Okay, so basically the month and the year are interconnected. Correct? So for example, say 2020 month is the year and month is February. So 2020 month, uh, in the year 2020 of the month February, there were 29 days. So that's a leap year. So it is interconnected. The values are interconnected. So the state also helps with this interconnection. Okay. So also if you click on next and previous buttons, as I told you, we will be, dynamically seeing the next and the previous month dates as well. If you click on that, it should not display say December 2025. If you click on previous from February, it shouldn't display December 2025. It should display Jan 2026. And if you similarly, if you click on next, it shouldn't display say November 2026. It should display March 2026. So state helps in maintaining the relatability between month and year values. Okay. Any questions until now?
I didn't get you. Could you please summarize that just
Okay.
now what you told me?
So basically, previously, I told you there is a React hook called useState, right? So this
Yes.
state stores the values and then helps in storing the values correctly. So, for example, as I told you, okay, let us not take calendar for example. We will say take a novel for example. Okay. So if you say I need open page one, so if you say you open a page one of a novel or a textbook, its content is different, correct? So it will
Okay.
say the chapter name and then introduction to the chapter and everything, correct?
Yes, yes.
But again, if you change the page, you update the state. So instead of state being one, say you open the next page, the state will go to step two, page two.
Yes.
Yeah. The value of the state will update and the content of the page will also get updated. Else it is not page two. It is just a repetition of page one, correct?
Yes, yes.
So, state helps you with storing the relevant information together. So, it will connect it together. So, if page one is there, it says chapter one, chapter needs to be displayed. If you say page two, then it says, the introduction page is over. You need to bring in something else, so on and so forth. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You understood, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. So, next key concept is handling numeric logic in React. Okay. We already know the state. Okay. Say, for example, right now we are dealing with calendar assignment. Okay. So, I'll speak only with regarding to that so you can relate to it better. Okay. So, the numbers do not end at 30 or 31 or 28 depending on the month. It ends at 28, 30, or 31, correct? But here numbers is a large set of quantity and it does not have an end date or a beginning or an end, correct? It is infinite. So what happens is you cannot have infinite things. Okay, calendar means you have your month starts at 1 and ends at either 28, 30, 31, and in leap year cases 29.
Mrudula, can
Okay.
you display a calendar?
Yes, yes.
Can you just show a 2026 calendar? What we are going to do?
Yeah. Yeah. So what we will be displaying is this one. Okay. We will be displaying the month, the year, and Sunday through Saturday and the dates. Okay. This we will be displaying. Okay. So logically, the numbers will not have any starting point or ending point. Correct. But in terms of calendar, it needs to have a starting and an ending point. So assigning the starting and the ending point is called logic. It is the rules. Okay. So the rules would be the starting of the month is 1, the ending can be 28, 30, 31, or 29. Okay. So this is the logic of handling the numbers. Okay. Okay, we will just close this and then we will go back. Okay. Next, rendering dates dynamically. So you would be, normally what we do in the beginning is we normally hard code it. Okay. But hard coding it requires lots of effort, right? So say for example, you hard coded for the month of February. But if you change it to March, then you will need to hard code another file, so on and so forth. Say if you hard code for 1 year, it is 12 months of file that you need to hard code. Imagine not for 1 year, you need it for the next 5 years and previous 5 years. So there is 10, 11 years, 11 into 12. That is too huge number of files for you to update every single time, correct? So in order to avoid that, what we do is we dynamically display. So we use some logic and then we dynamically display the dates, the month name, the year, everything. Okay. Now we will see how we do it in our project. Okay. So let's go here. First, what I'll do is I will hard code the calendar for the month of February. Okay. So we will go back to our README page and then say, oh, yeah, cd assignment 2.app npm start. So we will just see our basic React app. Yeah, it is going to take some time. Okay, so we have it here. So as I told you, we will not be touching any other files except the ones in the source folder. So we'll go back to app.js and then we will remove everything from here to, okay, we will not remove the div because as we know, we need the div tag. Okay. So now let us say h1 and say calendar Feb 2026. Okay. Okay. So one more important thing is we are making use of CSS here in the one that is already existing. So the styling is in app.css. Okay. So here, if you go back, you can see the div tag has the class name app. So if we go to app.css, you can see .app has the, has the styling of the text in the center. So the calendar Feb 2026 is aligned to the center of the page. Okay. We are not going to use app.logo, media, everything. So we will just leave it as is. We will not delete anything that is not being used right now. Okay. We will not worry about it. So let's go back and see. Okay. So we did our step 5, step 6, and then grouping JSX file. So the logic, everything will be in the JSX file. So we will go back to our file explorer, and here under source, we will be creating a folder called pages. And then inside that, we will have a file called page1.jsx. Page1.jsx. Okay. We are naming everything page1.jsx because we want to be consistent throughout. We don't need to worry about the names. Okay. So here, what we need to do is, first and foremost, as I have always told you, in order to use the logic inside page1.jsx, we always need to export it. So we are going to add export default function page1 and then close it up. Okay. And then we have exported it, but we are not returning anything. So in order for React to display anything that the logic or anything, we need to return it. So what we do is we return, we put a return statement. Okay. And as explained yesterday, whenever there is an empty return, the compiler always throws an error because the return should not be null. It can it should contain something or the other. So a simple div tag or a h1 tag would also do. So we will say h2 in this case. Okay. Since we have already used h1, we will use h2 here. Okay. We'll go to app.jsx and then we will say just calendar here, and we will copy this here and then we will paste it here. Okay. So basically we will go back, see here. Yes, but the Feb 2026 is not getting displayed. Why? Because we haven't imported it into app.js. So we'll go back to app.js and have the import statement, import page1. Okay. So we have imported the React tag page1 from page1.jsx. Okay. So now, even now, there's nothing getting displayed. Sorry, nothing getting displayed. We have imported it, but we haven't used it or let the compiler know where to display it. So what we do is we go to the return function, and then here we add page 1, okay, and save it. And there we have it. We have Feb 2026 that is here in page1.jsx getting displayed in app.js. Okay. So we did the basic. Now let us see. Okay. So as I told you, first we will be hard coding and then seeing what it displays versus dynamically doing it later. Okay. So here, what does it say? We have an empty div. Okay, we will have an empty div here. Okay, and then we can just say here. Okay, so here h2 is there. So what we will do is create a table with weekdays as the column headers with div tag inside return. So we will copy this and it should be within div tag. So we will paste it here. Yeah, the formatting is always screwed up because we normally do not consider formatting when we are copy pasting it into the. Okay, so let's go back here and see. See, you can see everything here, right? So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So everything is hard coded here and it is getting displayed. So we have no worries about that. Okay. So next, what we need to do, we did the February 2026. We did Sunday through Saturday. Now we need to display the dates. So we will go back here and then we make use of this. Okay, this was created for January, but it doesn't matter right now. We will just copy paste it and then we will update the dates. Okay. Yeah. I'm just formatting it. Just don't worry about formatting. I'm just doing it so that we can understand it better. Okay. So here starts one. Okay. Let's see what is getting displayed here. See, it starts from Thursday and ends with 31st, which is not true for February. So the calendar typically for February 2026 should start on a Sunday and end on a Saturday. Okay, so that we will do it here. Okay, we will update it and then see it's getting updated dynamically. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, my bad, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, and 28. And we can remove this portion. Okay. Okay. So our calendar for Feb 2026 is set. See, it begins on a Sunday and ends on a Saturday. Begins on a Sunday, ends on a Saturday. 28 days, Feb 2026. So until now, everything is hard coded. Everything is ready. But you can't keep doing it. As I told you, you can't keep doing it same for every month. So in order to overcome that, what we normally do is we try to do it dynamically. Okay. So for that, we are going to use state. Okay. Because we do not need it to be updated every second. We just use state. So first, what we are going to do is we are going to be printing the weekday, the name of the weekdays first. Okay. So what we will do is we will create an array. Okay. So inside page 1 and just before return. Always remember, return should be in HTML style. Return shouldn't have any logic. Okay. So here what we are going to do is const days of week, and we have it here. So we are going to do Sunday through Saturday, and then we are going to dynamically render it. So how we are going to do it, since this is an array, we are going to use for loop and loop through the days of the week variable. Okay. So for that, we have function display days of week, and then we will say, okay, one important thing here. Okay, no, we will look through everything. Okay, but there needs to be a empty array in the beginning. Okay, so we will have it as let week days is equal to a null array. Okay, so next we are going to loop through each of the elements of days of the week. Okay, so now we are going to use for loop. Okay, for. So how do we use a for loop? We have an iterator, normally I. Okay, so for let I is equal to 0, I less than. So we have 7 days. So we started from 0. So it cannot be equal to 7. So it should be less than 7. So it is days of week dot length, and we need to increment I plus plus. Okay. Now the for loop is ready. So what do we need to do in the for loop? We say week days, and normally we use push in this particular scenario to add in the values. Okay, values to the array. So push. So now what happens is we cannot just display it as is. Okay, we cannot put raw values. Normally what we do is we include the HTML tag. Okay, normally we use span. Okay, because it is inside a table, we normally use span key. Okay, span. And as I already told you, there should be a key element. Okay, so key is like a unique identification number. So what we will do is we will say days. Okay, since days is a string, it should be enclosed within double quotes plus I. So what happens here is it says days 0, days 1, days 2, like that. So every time there's an increment, it says days 0. And then the React understands, oh, this is a different element from the previous element, and the rendering becomes easier. Okay. So what we do here is we call our array days of the week, days of week. Okay. So this is a for loop. Remember, this is a for loop. Okay, we cannot say just display days of the week. So it will display. Let's see what exactly it will display. Okay, so we need to display it one by one. Just let us see what it does. Okay, return weekdays. Okay, now what happens? We go here. Nothing is getting displayed. Why? We haven't called it. Okay, we need to call a function inside the return to be able to display it. Correct? We cannot just expect it to get displayed. So what we do is we go here after the table. I will just leave the hard-coded things as is. Okay, we will see the difference. Okay, so now what we will do is we will create another div tag. Okay, and we will say display days of week. Okay, So why we used a div tag inside a div tag is because we want the actual thing, the whole page, to be divided first and then subdivided. Okay. So now you can see Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So it is getting displayed 7 times, correct? Because we haven't used any index here. So what we will do is days of the week of index. So let us say days of the weeks of I. And there we have it. We have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, which is great. Now we have dynamically displayed it. So how did we do it? We used the for loop and called a function. We wrote a function for that. Okay. So now next thing is to display the dates as well. Okay. For that, we need to have the months, because every month has different number of dates, correct? So some months have 30, February has 28, and the other months have 31. Okay. So for that, we need to create another variable called months. Okay. So we will just copy paste it here. Okay. And we have our months. Okay. So now we have our months. Next, what do we need to do? We need to extract the date, and then we need to extract the month, and then the year. Okay. So what we will do that is, we will say const current date is equal to new date. So now let us see what exactly it displays. Okay. In our this one. Okay. Current date. Okay. We will go back to React, and then we will say right click, inspect, go to console, and then okay, tr cannot be a child. Okay, just ignore this. It's okay. Okay. So here you can see, right? Tuesday, Feb 17, 2026, 16:04:29 GMT +1. Okay, since I'm in Germany, it is Central European Standard Time. Okay. So it has everything. From this, okay, one more important thing is, you can see it is getting displayed here twice. That is because we are using something called react.strict mode. Okay, so this strict mode, what happens is, it runs the code twice. Okay, in order to verify if there is any failures or any errors. So just to be on a safer side, if you go here, go to public, not public, sorry. If you go here and index.js, here you have react.strict mode. So if you just remove this, okay, we will see we only see it once, because since we have taken out the strict mode, it only runs once. Okay, the React run is getting, the program is getting run compiled only once, and hence we have only one entry. Okay. Now normally why we do this is because we need to verify if there is any errors. So sometimes what happens is, the computer also might miss a few issues. Okay, so in order to prevent that, we use strict mode. Okay, so that's something I found that you might find interesting. That's it. Okay, so let's go here, and now from this current date, we will extract the month, which is February, and we will extract the year. Okay, so for that we will say const current month, comma set current month is equal to, so we will be using use state. As I told you, use state normally has the value, and it gets automatically updated as and when required. So what we will do is, we will say current date dot get month. Okay, Now we will print this up. Console.log current month. Okay. And let's go back and see in the React. Okay. We will reload it. Oh, use state is not defined. Correct. We did not import use state. So what we will do is we will go here and import it. Import, my bad. Okay. Use state from React. Okay. Runtime error. What was it? What was the runtime error? Use state is not defined. Why is it not defined? It should be defined. Yeah. See? Okay. So here we have extracted it and then it is displaying 1. Okay. So because the index would be 1. So as you know, it starts from 0 and always ends in n minus 1. So let us do this. Okay. Current month, we need it as Feb. Okay. Let's say we need it as Feb. Current month. Wait. It should be months of current month. Oh, sorry, my bad. Okay, let us see. Months is defined. Okay, it's giving some issues. Okay, see, now you can see February, correct? Because I've made use of months, that is the array, and then current month is the number we are getting, the numeric value, and then I'm passing it as the index and I'm getting the actual value for it. Okay, you don't need to do it, I'm just showing it to you, I'm trying to debug it as well. So let's go back and then here we will say, I'll just copy paste the same thing for and change it to year. Okay, and since year is already a number, we don't need it as an array. Okay, we will say year. Sorry, this would be current year and this would be set current year and this would be get year. Okay, current year, and let's go back and see. Don't worry about this. Okay, yeah, so it's 126. Okay, so another important thing you need to know is the computers take in the year very differently. Okay, it is not this one. How do you call it? It is not what it actually feels like. So normally in our world, it starts with 2026, 2027. So in computer terminologies, it is always 2026 minus 1 to 6. So it starts from 1900s. Okay, in the computer year it always starts from 1900s. Okay, so in order to overcome that, we use get full year. Okay, and we will go back, we will see here. See, we have extracted the month and we have extracted the year as well. So always remember, if you need to get 2026, you need to say get full year. Okay, and we will go back here and then here. Now we have our calendar, we have the month, we have our weekdays dynamic name of the weekdays dynamically displayed. Now we need to dynamically display the dates. So as I told you, each and every month will have separate dates, right? It's not constant throughout, it's not just 30 days or 29 days. So in order to get the number of days in each month, we make use of something called as new date. We will see that. Okay, const days in month, that is equal to new date. Okay, so now this date function takes in different parameters. Okay, let us see. Hover over it. Over. See here. Is it not displaying? Okay, this is too huge. I will tell you. Okay, so normally what it takes is it takes the year, it takes the month, and then it gives us the number of days. Okay, it calculates and gives it. Okay, so for that, what we need to do is we say current year. Okay, comma current month. Okay, we already did the current month, correct? And then we say 0. So now we did everything, but let us see what it displays. Okay, console.log days in a month. Okay, we will go back here, we will reload it. See here, it says Saturday, Jan 31st, 2026. But we do not need everything else. We just need the date, correct? So in order to do that, we say dot get date. Okay, we will see. Okay, it says 31, but we only have 28 days in February. Okay, so what is happening here is, even though in computers it takes it from the month 0, I mean the first month is always 0. In this scenario, the date, it is not like that. Oh, here you go. See, you can send in the number, the month index, date, everything. Okay, but in this particular scenario, it considers Jan as 1, Feb as 2, etc., etc., etc. So if we send current month, which is 1, it will take as January. So in order to overcome that, we just need 1, we just add plus 1. Okay, now we say save. Now here you can see the number of days is 28, which matches February 2026. So now what we are going to do is we are going to dynamically print these as well. So in order to do that, we will go back and we will say create a function called display dates in a month. So we will copy this and we will paste it. Okay. So here we have it. I'm just doing this so that we know. Okay, so we have our date. Okay, and as I told you, every span element, for every looping, every span element should have a unique key, because the React does not get confused. Okay, so we will go here, we will see. Okay, we will just close the console. Okay, we will see if it is getting displayed. It is not getting displayed. Why? Because we do not have it called here. So what we will do is we will again copy this particular line of code and then say display. What was the function? Let me just check real quick. Display dates in a month. Oh God. Display dates in a month. Okay. Oh God. Okay. See, now we have it displayed. So it is displaying from 1 to 28. But everything is getting displayed in one single line. We'll expand it once and see. See, everything is getting displayed in one single line. But we need it in this format, in the tabular format. So in order to do that, we make use of CSS. Okay. I will show it to you. Okay. So here. Okay. So what we do is, okay, here. Okay. So what we are going to do is we are going to make use of the 100% of the screen and divide it by 7. so that everything gets automatically placed neatly. Okay, so we will just copy this and we will paste it in our CSS. Okay, I want you to go through the readme page and then get back to me with any other questions you have. Okay, so we have our everything. Let's see here. Oh, it is still displaying the same. That is because we haven't assigned any class names to any of the div elements. So we will go back here and say, here, display dates in a month. And then here as well, class name days container. And let's go back and see. Now you can see it is displaying with equal spacing and everything. This was achieved with the help of CSS. Okay, that is because when you change the month and the year, it normally increases or decreases the number of dates. So you cannot always be like, okay, it might have only these many dates. No, it might have only these many things. That's not the case. So what we are doing is we are trying to have everything dynamically displayed. So this particular thing, what is happening is it is taking the whole page, width of the page, and then dividing it by 7 and placing it equidistant in an equidistance way and in the center. Okay. Now there is one more thing. Okay. Now you've seen everything, but we are unable to see it dynamically. Like, I have hard coded this part. You remember? I've hard coded all this part. This can be hard coded. It's okay. Calendar can be hard coded because it is natural that every page will have the header as calendar. But the Feb in 2026 shouldn't be hard coded, right? So, in order to do that, what we do is we go back to page 1.jsx, and here we are going to display that as well dynamically. So, here I'm going to copy this and I'm going to display it here. Okay, let's go back to React. And you can see, okay, I don't want this. I just want H3. See, now it says February, 2026. Okay, then I go back to my code. So now Feb month is done, but it could also mean we need to have a forward and a backward arrows so that you can navigate to the next month or the previous month. Okay, so in order to do that, we need to have a button, so less than and the greater than button. So what we'll do is we will copy this, we will paste it here. Okay, my bad, sorry, it seems a little scattered. So let's go back, let's see here. Here what I did was I added a button. The button for left is called ampersand LT semicolon, and for the right is ampersand GT comma semicolon. So we need to make it clickable. Okay, so next what we need to do is we need two functions called previous and the next. So what we will do is we will be adding these two lines of code here. Okay, and then we will have an on click for this. So button on click is equal to previous. Okay, okay, we have an error. Set current year is not defined. Let me just check it real quick. My bad. Yeah. Okay. So let's check if the previous button is working or not. So let's go back. Oh, it's working. See, it's displaying up to 31. But it is starting from Sunday, which is not the case, correct? So let me just quickly remind you the 2026 started on a Thursday. My bad. So here you can see Jan 2026 started on a Thursday. So now we need to implement space, something called spacing. So until Thursday, there should be blanks here, correct? So we also have a function for that. Here we go here and we have something called empty space. So what we will do is we'll copy this. We will go back here and then before our return, we will add. Okay. So let's see what it is doing. So what it is doing is first day of the month. Okay. It is taking the variable is called first day. What it is doing is it is going to take, it is going to call the date function and say current year, current month, and when it is starting. So one is which day we need. So you can also say 10. Oh, sorry, my bad. So until the 10th day, it will start adding space. Okay. So now we will add it just before our dates. Okay. So here. My bad. And then we will see here. Okay. We will see. See. So we will go to the calendar here. 10th begins on a Saturday. So since we have given 10 here in this particular here, so until here, until Saturday, it gives us a blank space and then it will start. Okay. So in order to do that, we will just say 1. So it will determine the day. Okay. So say, for example, if it begins on a Thursday, it will be like all the 3 remaining spaces will be a blank. So until Wednesday, it will be a blank and then it will start. Okay. Let us see that. See, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, everything is blank until Thursday. So it starts on a Thursday, which is done correctly. Okay. Now, we did previous. We will also do next. So we also have a code for that. So we will go back and then we will say copy and we will paste before return. This should be current year. Okay. And then we are going to go here and say on click is equal to next. Okay. And then we are going to refresh this. So since current month is February, your calendar starts in Feb. Okay. We can say previous January, which is right. It starts on a Thursday. Previous December 2025. Look at the year as well. It is also dynamically changing. Okay. Jan 2026. Previous December 2025, November 2025, October 2025. And then let's start with March. March 2026. It begins on a Sunday, which is true because February ends on a Saturday. And then here it ends on a Tuesday, and then April should begin on a Wednesday. See, you're seeing that? We will go to December and try to do next. So, which means Jan 2027 is getting displayed. So, this was our basic calendar. Any questions?
Ma'am, how did it display 2027? What was the logic used?
Okay, so here in the next and the previous, I told you that we added two functions, right, for the previous and the next. So in this function, if you see here, okay, first I'll explain the next. So in the next, okay, so what is happening is it is checking if the current month is equal to 11. Okay, since it begins at 0, it ends at 11, correct? So if it is at 11, set current month is to 0. So the current month will be set to 0, that is January. And set current year, that is current year plus 1. So this is a function. Set current year is a function. Okay.
So what
So
is
what
this
it
current? Like, how can why we are setting current month to zero if current month is triple equal to 11?
so after December 2026, what comes up?
Jan
Jan of
2027.
exactly. So in our array, the uh, January month is considered as at index 0, right?
Yes, yes.
So we are setting the current month to January, and then we are incrementing the year. You got the point?
Yes, yes, yes.
Pranav, it's like
Okay.
the month will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Again 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Again 0.
Okay, so 11 was December.
Yeah, 11 was December, not November.
Okay, so according to index, yes, set it here to 11.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
0
Pranav.
to 11.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah, now I got it.
Actually,
Okay.
if you write a simple JavaScript code, you will be able to do all this. You can discover all of this. Okay.
Yes.
Yes, yes. So
Okay.
else, what is the set current?
Sorry. Yes. Yes, Pranav. Sorry.
So what is that else part? I didn't get.
L start.
Yeah, else of set current month of
Yeah.
this one.
See, if it is not suppose if it is
If it is
not
not December, if the current month
Okay,
is not equal to December, then it will be
okay,
current month plus 1. Say the current month is February. Okay. So we will
okay.
refresh it. So the current month is February, and
Yes.
that is equal to 1. So what it will
Yeah.
do is it will be like 1 plus 1. So the current month
Yes.
will, the
Yes.
value will be 2, which is 0, 1, 2. So January, February, March. So it will get set
Yes.
to
Yes.
March.
I
Yes.
think there
Yes.
is a different way of doing this function. You can say, uh,
Mhm.
you can say, uh, you can say percentage. No, you can say modulus, right?
So that would be a little complicated. I
Huh?
mean, I have done it as simple as possible so that for the first time, for the beginners, it will be easier to understand.
Right, right. No, I agree with you. Okay. Hmm.
Yeah. I
Okay.
tried with modulus as well, but I thought it will be a little complicated for beginners, so I just
Right, right.
used it very simply.
Yeah. Good.
So,
Hmm.
similar to this, Pranav, the previous function also works. So it
Yeah.
checks if the
Yeah.
current month is 0, and then it'll minus 1 year from the current year, and the month is set to December.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Got it. Thank you, ma'am.
yeah, no problem.
Kishan, any
So I
observations? Dhyan, Gayatri. Yeah, Mridula, you want to cover anything more? We are almost on time.
no, no. So tomorrow we will be going to do another interesting thing, fetching data from APIs. Okay. So we will do that tomorrow. I think it will not be this complicated because there's not too much logic around it. Okay. But I feel that you might enjoy tomorrow's topic a little more. Okay. Because it is visually a little appealing. There's not too much CSS code or anything. We will see it. Okay. So what I would request is I would request you to go through this code. Okay. just go to the GitHub here. Okay. I would like you to go through the code and try to understand it, if at all it is possible. When
Uh,
it is possible,
yeah.
yeah, Kishan. Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mridula, just
Please.
push the GitHub link once again on the chat.
Yeah, yeah. So all the code are here in source.
Okay, I think it's
Okay.
there. No, calendar app is there, right? Can you push
Yeah, yeah.
the other one? Yesterday's
Which
thing?
one, sir?
Yesterday's.
Oh, yeah. Sure, sure. Mm. I've pushed both into the chat, sir.
Okay, okay. Okay, anything else that we can close for the day? Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mridula. Thank
Thank
you.
you all.
Yeah,
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you,
thank
ma'am.
you.